What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, doing a quick video from the crib because I'm off today. But I saw an interesting story that I felt, why don't we just sit down and talk for 8 to 10 minutes about this? Because Russell Wilson is reportedly, this is not breaking news here, but seeking a massive contract extension. Mike Klis reporting that he's looking for 5-year, $250 million extension. It's $250 million. That's a lot of money. So you know what? That's worth chatting it up for a couple minutes here. So let's start to kind of break down and consume this 5-year, $250 million reported deal. Now, a couple things that needs to happen first. One, the Broncos have to get a new owner. Okay? You're just not going to be able to sign a quarterback to a $250 million extension, and you don't have the person that's going to be writing the paycheck for that yet. You know what I'm saying? Joe Ellis, who is the CEO of the Pat Bowlen Trust, I don't know what it's like to extend a player to $250 million when you don't have the owner yet, but that seems like that could be an issue. So once they find who the next owner is going to be, then I think the deal will get kicked off into motion. But 5-year, $250 million, yeah, that's a lot of money, and where would that rank? So that would put him at an average of $50 million a season. Yeah, big math guy here. And that wouldn't even put him at number one. So that's kind of interesting to see that he didn't want to maybe become the highest paid quarterback, even if it's only for a brief time span, because we all know the NFL is just a one-upper league, right? This player gets 10, I want 11. This guy gets 20, I want 21. So Aaron Rodgers right now, on average, makes just over $51 million a season. He signed that 3-year, $152 and change contract extension when he decided to stay in Green Bay and lose more playoff games. Shout out to my dog walking by. But then you got Deshaun Watson at second. And I want to just talk about this a little more in detail because Watson, right, set records when he signed a 5-year, $230 million contract with the Browns, and it was all guaranteed. And that probably sent some shockwaves across the league because all of a sudden Watson got an entirely guaranteed deal. Something you've never seen before at that volume. And it makes you wonder, is this going to be the status quo? Right? Is Russell Wilson, and rightfully so, going to walk into George Paton's office and go, I'm better than Deshaun Watson. I've been to 2 Super Bowls. I've won a Super Bowl. I want all my money guaranteed. You know? Or was there even some backdoor channeling before he got traded to Denver where he's like, you know what? I'm kind of comfy in Seattle. I don't mind the rain all that much. But if you want to give me a heavy guaranteed contract, that'd be hard to say no. So here's my question for you guys, kind of right off the bat here. If you like the idea of Russell Wilson getting a 5-year, $250 million contract extension, like the video. If not, just comment below how much you would be comfortable paying Russ, right? If you were the GM, what would be your ceiling for paying Russell Wilson? Let me know down below in the comment section. Personally, it's not my money. And then there's the other aspect of the cap's going to go way up. So 5-year, $250 million may sound way too daunting, but do you have a choice? You know, you just traded for Russell Wilson. You envision him being your quarterback for the next 10 years. You're going to have to kind of pony up and just do it. I don't know if there's much of a bargain to be had here. Russell Wilson, since coming to Mile High, has just been the second coming of Jesus Christ to so many people, right? He has completely turned around this franchise without even playing a game. I mean, the reports coming out of practice, OTAs, and all that stuff is that he has been just... life-changing is way too much of an overreaction, but a whole different mood and tempo at practice and whatnot. So we won't spend too much time making out with Russell Wilson. But going back to that guaranteed money, that's going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye out for. Now, also make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Usually we've got the green screen, we got the all the bells and whistles, the graphics. Right now we're working out of my kitchen at home. But if you want to get free daily Broncos content, make sure you go down and click that subscribe button. All right, going back to Russell Wilson. Now, this is an interesting thing to monitor right now, or keep an eye on, okay? Lamar Jackson is looking for a new deal. He has not shown up to voluntary OTAs. and he's his own agent, and he's going to want a hefty contract. I remember when the Browns gave Watson all that guaranteed money, the Ravens were like, damn, this is going to be a pain in the ass going forward because he set the bar way too high for anyone else to realistically, fathomably, he changed the game, right? It's all guaranteed for him. So are we going to see a bit of a cold war between the Broncos and the Ravens? Because whoever extends their quarterback first, my guess is the other team will have to pay a little bit more, right? If Russ gets a 5-year, $250 million contract, I envision Lamar Jackson will walk into Harbaugh and the Ravens front office and go, I've won an MVP. I'm one of the rising quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm super young. I would like 5-year, 251. I want to be the highest paid quarterback. So could we see these two teams work very quickly to get a deal done, to save themselves a little bit of money, knowing whoever gets it done second probably will have to pay a little bit more? That's just the name of the game with contracts in the NFL. Okay? Denzel Ward, he was the highest paid corner when the Browns gave him a big extension, $100 million, something like that. And Jair Alexander, the Packers corner, got extended 2-3 weeks later. And what was his extension? Like $500,000 more. Now, it's just $500K, but still, you may be wondering, once the Broncos find their new owner, are they going to work very quickly to get a deal done to kind of beat the Ravens out and not have to spend as much as whoever goes second? Because that's just the way these contracts work in the NFL. Now, don't be too alarmed at all the cap devotion there, because I agree it's a scary number, but, there are ways you can kind of maneuver around the cap. You can convert a lot of that money into signing bonus, into workout bonus, into bonuses that alleviate some pressure on the cap hit. But you got to also think about this. George Paton, he's never really given out a huge contract. Like, the biggest one was Randy Gregory, 5-year deal, but only $28 million guaranteed, which is essentially a 2-year contract, right? $14 million the first 2 years. If he likes what he's seen after 2 years, he'll stay on for 3 and it'll be way cheaper. But, he inherited a team that had Drew Lock on their roster. That was cheap, right? A second-round quarterback, that's not much of a cap hit right there. Traded for Teddy Bridgewater, was also relatively cheap. This will be his first time really breaking out the checkbook and handing out a huge lump sum of cash. It's not every day GMs give out $250 million anyway. But this will be an interesting thing to keep an eye on, or an interesting thing just to take note of. George Paton, how he's going to go about this. All right? Will there be a negotiation, or will it just be, all right, Russ, name your price. We are all in on you. We are naming our firstborn son Russell. We're doing it. Come on. Just tell me what you want, and we'll get it on ink, and it'll be done and over with. All right. Appreciate everyone that clicked onto today's video. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm back in studio, and you don't get to see my dog just grazing around the back. And we'll be talking more Broncos news and